and welcome to the Watchin It podcast. On today's show, Robert says, screw biology, get revenge. Donnell says, got some questions for you, Robert. Got some questions for you.
Oh, I know what this is.
And on today's episode of Silo...
I have no answers, Donnell. I have no answers, okay? Nobody has answers. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's no answers anyway.
On today's episode of Silo... oh, man. Yeah, today's episode of Silo, I don't think that's how you stop a rebellion. All that and more. I'm your host, Donnell. With me, as always, is Robert. Robert, been a long break. We had to take a couple extra days before we get to this.
Yeah,
episode.
that was interesting because they usually release Silo on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They released it on Wednesday.
Yeah,
which I understand why
Getting
in
out.
the mind of the network.
Mm-hmm.
But like, come on.
Yeah,
They were gonna watch it on Friday.
yeah.
If they were gonna watch it.
I mean, the only
The
thing I
people
could
who
think-
are like Silo
yeah,
are not going to
Not-
Target
not doing
on
a Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
They are staying at home and ordering online and watching Silo.
Yes, exactly. They need to have Silo up on their second monitor while they're perusing the website.
There's
man.
no reason to change the release day
No.
except to torment Robert
Mm-hmm.
because I got it on Wednesday and then I had to wait 72 hours to watch it with Donnell.
It's rough. I know. I had to.
I started it like 3 times Wednesday night and I was like, no, I got to wait for Donnell.
Thank you, Robert.
And then I would start it again and be like, no, I got to wait for
I
Donnell.
will admit that last night I was like, I could watch it. And then we just act like, oh, what's this? Look at that. What are you doing there? But no, I did it.
All right, do we have a name for this episode of Silo?
I mean, I'm sure there is one.
The episode is called Solo.
Yes.
All right. So this has 2 distinct separations that they kind of bounce between as Silo
Mhm.
18 and Silo 17. Which
Yep.
one do you want to start with? What do you want to cover first? Silo 18 or 17?
Let's 18 is where's he from, right? Or
Yeah.
Let's do 18 first before
Okay.
we get up into one. Is I feel like even though there is a lot that comes from Julie's time in 17.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like that might be a little bit of the shorter thing. But yeah, so yeah, let's just start off. Basically, when we get back to our main Silo, we see that things are escalating very quickly.
Yeah.
very much.
Well, we start with the judge
Yes.
and Bernard going
Mhm.
into the vault.
Into the vault.
Yep.
Which, I mean, and this is touching the other storyline, but when they go into the vault, it's a very clean room.
Yes.
Very clean room. There's like a screen and there's a podium with a book. Now, there are 2 doors off to the left and right of the screen. And so I'm figuring there got to be some more going on back there because of jumping to the other storyline real quick. If Solo's been living in the vault for this long, there's got to be more in there than just this clean ass room with a book. Like
So spoilers stuff. In the book, this is like there's like the main IT area, and
Yes.
then there's like the head of IT office,
right.
and then there's a secret. What is the word for it when there's
Corridor?
like a door in the floor
Hatch.
hatch
Right.
that you open and climb down,
Okay.
and so it's not like there's a big vault door.
Yeah.
In the book,
No big
it's like there's a
vaults,
secret
doors.
door in the head of IT's office that you go down, which is fine.
Yeah.
That they changed that, but yeah, behind those doors is like a lot of books and servers and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's what we may or may not see it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But what I found most interesting and fun for readers of the book, at least,
Yeah.
and for viewers as well, I think, is the high tech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because Bernard and the judge,
Yes.
Judge Meadows, are in this room, and he's got the order there. But then he's got this screen is a high tech screen, like
Yes.
super high tech,
Mm-hmm.
and that gives you kind of a hint.
Do.
What was the world like outside before the fall
Mm-hmm.
and the
Like,
silos?
But I say the silos are very much like slightly before like actual present time, real life
Yeah.
present time. But the vault, the server room and stuff definitely gives the appeal like they were more futuristic than we
Yeah.
are currently. So.
Well, I mean, like later on, towards the end of the episode, there's the judge.
Yep.
She goes into her room
Yep.
or her apartment, and she pulls out this cube
Yep.
from the wall.
And Pinhead pops out now.
yeah. That would be so awesome. But she's got like a mini projector.
Yeah.
Like at first you think it's like an MP3 player or something.
Mhm.
It's like, no, this is like a full-on
full-on
video
projector, yeah.
movie projector. And it's like, that's pretty future tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm loving that they're kind of bringing that in. They're kind of
Sprinkling it in a little bit.
Yeah, sprinkling it
Yeah.
in, like you said, of just really advanced technical stuff.
Yeah.
Though I don't understand why the judge wouldn't keep that under
Yeah, that's gotta
lock
be,
and key in a safe, man. You can't just
I
keep
guess
that
you
on the
just
shelf.
assume nobody will be smart enough to use it. I don't know. So yeah, we're in there. They're going over the order and what's in it, or you know what the judge remembers. And the thing that I find interesting is how specific stuff in the order is. Like
I mean, that's a big book.
Yeah, it's a very
thick
big
book
book.
with
But
little
just how they're
writing.
like, hey, if a rebellion starts, like you got to get the people who are doing the graffiti. Like they know graffiti's going to be going up,
Yeah.
and then they already have like
Specifically graffiti that glorifies the cleaner that didn't clean.
Yeah, the cleaner who didn't clean. Yeah. And yeah, so like it's just very specific. And then also like how it's like just written into like you blame mechanical. Mechanical is the scapegoat. That's how you get everybody united, and you take out all of them. And it's just like, I mean, they make it clear that rebellions have happened in the silo before, but I mean, it makes you wonder how long this has been going on in a sense.
You know, I wonder if they're gonna get to it. Again, spoilers. There's a really good part in the books. I keep talking about the books because the books are amazing.
yeah.
Everybody should go read the books.
Yeah, that's a show about the books. Yeah.
Where there's someone from Supply talking just as another person at like a bar or something.
Yeah.
And being like, we've got like they do the math that like, okay, the light bulbs, they seem to burn out after X number of years. And we've got X number of light bulbs in storage and supply. And we can't make any more. But if you do the math, and I've done the math on the light bulbs and a whole bunch of other things, it all seems to equal 500 years. And it's like, what's going to happen in 500 years? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Little taste there. But no, we don't know how long it has been.
Yeah.
Because we learn about in this episode, in the next scene, in Silo 18, that there is a drug, a medication that they can give to people that make them forget.
Yes. And which I have questions about how you calibrate that. But yeah,
Dosage, just dosage.
Yeah, I guess. And so, but the judge, one alludes to, and we keep seeing throughout this episode, that she's very suspicious about Juliette going out.
Yeah.
Very much thinking that it wasn't as it was. And then also, she kind of put, the order says to do things one way. And she's like, nah, that's not. And I honestly agreed with her. She's like,
well, she's even like, screw the pact.
Yeah. She's like, no, we're not going to blame mechanical. You're going to free that guy. Make sure when we get some people. Because the thing is, there was, as I talked about last episode, there was graffiti on the higher levels. And I don't think anybody from mechanical wandered up there to do it. So I'm like, she says, like, get somebody from one of the other levels, which, like, I think would quell the rebellion a lot easier, make it easier, because it's like, but because that's where the rebellion is happening, is mechanical. Anyways,
well, look, I think the writers of the order were wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea of the cleaning and send someone out with like a visor that shows them a beautiful world, that's so stupid.
Yeah, that's when like they talk about that again. Like, this is another storyline, which we'll get to, but they do talk about the cleaning and how you see the picture. But I'm just like, the fact that everybody sees a cleaning, when you see that the last guy before you cleaned and nothing happened, why would you think any differently that you could clean? So that's the thing. Like, I hate that.
I mean,
that's one of the flaws.
Devil's advocate.
Okay.
Because I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I guess devil's advocate is like, okay, this time I went out to clean
Yeah.
Maybe it was dirty outside before,
Mm-hmm.
but when I've gone out, now it's sunny and rainbows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean so that way everybody can see
But
sunny
then the
and
question
rainbows.
you have to ask
But
yourself
I'm with
is,
you. It's like,
why did the guy before, if it wasn't sunny and rainbows,
exactly.
why did the guy
Yeah.
before me clean? And so that it's just that's one
Yeah.
thing that's frustrating. Like when they talk about it, Juliette and Solo talk about it. That I just go like, that was from the first season. I thought that, and from this, once they drop that revelation, I'm just like, that doesn't explain why anybody cleans. If
Yeah.
you were alive for a cleaning in your lifetime,
Yeah.
and you saw what happened last time, why would you think I'm going to be different? Like, I'm not sure what the right, because like I said, not everybody likes, and most people aren't, going to have the tape to actually survive out there. So you're going to die, which I mean, you don't know that, but so I don't know what the proper answer is. I don't know if you just go out there and look around and die, or if you go and frolic in the field for a few moments because you're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you try to, write something on the glass, but the one thing I feel like you wouldn't do, because that's the one thing, for sure, of all your options of what you could do when you get out, you could smash the camera, you could do whatever. Of all your options, the one thing doesn't work is cleaning.
Yeah.
So why would be the one thing you try to do to communicate people back inside that, oh my gosh, it's amazing out here.
No, I would think like you would want them to see the darkness of the outside world.
Yeah.
Because the whole speech that they give before you got to clean is to show that inside is safe and there is not.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to clean, if I live in the silo and I'm going out to clean, or going out, I get a choice to clean or not, and I see that it's a desolate post-apocalyptic world, I'm cleaning so that way people can see that it's a desolate post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
I would not clean if it's nice and sunny outside. I'd be like, come on out.
Yeah.
I'd be like, everybody, come on.
Exactly. It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Anyways, so we see that I wrote this down and didn't realize how much it was, but I wrote down poor Patrick, just because this character, when he's introduced, he very much, when at first is at odds with Juliette. And it's kind of strong
just wanted
arm.
a watch to pull his arm together.
Exactly. I'll say, and then, Juliette pretty much blackmails and strong arms him into being a part of her, what I'll call like resistance. I don't know what you want to call it, but her little group, which was never, he never wanted to, even when they first meet up and they're going over, he tried, when she pulled up that hard drive, he's like, all right, cool, you two go off, I'm out. And that's when she's like, what do you think's going to happen, Pat? At that point, he's already in too deep, even though he did. So they make it very clear, Patrick wanted nothing. He was just trying to drown him. He wanted his watch and he wanted to drown himself in alcohol. And I get why he lost his wife, but just leave the man to it. And instead, now he's sitting captured in interrogation and for what Juliette did. And the whole time I'm just like I said, we see later on it's even worse than this, but I was just like, poor Patrick, man. Yeah. This man just
what about
this?
Mark Zuckerberg IT guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From the previous
I thought about
season.
him too.
What's he doing? He's still stuck in there.
He's in the mines
with a bag over his head.
Oh yeah.
No. You're thinking of the
Star
guy.
Yeah. But
no, I'm talking about her other accomplice that worked with Kennedy.
Yeah.
He's still stuck with a bag over his head and that thing strapped to his mouth and whatnot. I tell you what I love about that conversation is Sims being the boogeyman.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, whenever parents want to get their kids to
watch broccoli,
eat their vegetables, they say like Sims is gonna get you.
They use Sims. I just love Sims' response. He's like, kids need to eat broccoli.
What a weird ethos. I don't know if I could handle that. If somebody told me that, like, you were the boogeyman.
You're the one that kids need their nightlight on at. I mean, that is also weird. We're like, if you have a kid, you're lying there in your room, all of a sudden, Daddy, what? It's like Sims is in my closet.
We get some interesting talk between Sims and Billing. Oh no, not Sims. The
Paul
judge
and the judge.
Billings and Judge Meadows.
Yes.
And Billings.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
I gotta get the names right. It's very hard. The frisbee.
Yeah.
I remember those frisbees.
Oh yeah.
From the early aughts.
I love how it's set up as some nice exclusive thing.
Well, they did that with the Pez dispenser.
I know.
Who knows what the magical item
No one knows
is.
what it is, but she has it in this nice case and all that stuff. And it's it's interesting. I wonder what, I guess, is he allowed? I guess, they did make it clear that sometimes some relics are allowed for people to have.
She
It's
gets
just that.
privileges.
But then also
yeah.
no, but I don't think because that thing is Paul is very much by the books. Remember that.
Yeah.
And I feel like even he would be against Judge Beto having special privileges to
Mhm,
special relics.
mhm.
So I feel like that relic, which is just a frisbee, they deduce like there's nothing wrong with this relic. So like that sort of thing. But I bet you if she whipped out that projector,
Oh yeah,
oh,
it'd be over.
Paul would
No,
have
that's
a
a
nervous
red-
breakdown.
that's a red
That's a
level
red level
relic.
Like
Yeah.
Paul be having a what the hell is this?
That's as bad as the book.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where that page is.
Mm.
That page that
Yeah.
Billings has.
Yeah.
You got that page somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's saving that for.
But
his
yeah.
kid.
She's questioning Paul about Juliette going out, like we said, already hinted
Yep.
at. She's kind of suspicious, and also we kind of get the clue in, and I'm wondering if these two are teaming up, like to do something. I'm not sure what, but we kind of get the clue in, like Paul. I mean, he's Mr. By the Books and all that. Like Paul's also a little suspicious about this whole Juliette going out thing.
Yep.
Since he has the right man for the job, I guess.
We also get some syndrome talk.
Mhm.
Again, this is not in the books.
No,
this is
I
something
wonder
they
what
made
they're
up for
gonna
the
do
TV
with it.
show.
Since it's not in the books.
And it's interesting that they got into it where she's like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of what like the kind of get meta with it. This is what the director and writers said, is like, yeah, we've created the thing on a whole cloth, and they're like, hey, what happens when you stick someone in a silo like this?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some neurological disorders are gonna pop up,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and they're just kind of running with it.
It makes sense. I mean, the judge very much says humans aren't meant to live underground.
That being said, they're just slowing me down to get into the real fun stuff. Okay, the syndrome has nothing to do with the overarching storyline. It's just something fun they're throwing in. I'm like, but you're wasting minutes.
It's wasting minutes, but
you're
it's
keeping
I
me
would
minutes
say it's
away
making
from
it
getting to where I
slightly
want to
more
be.
realistic, because I do, like I said, I mean, there's a reason why people don't live underground even like now. Not that you want to, but like, yeah, it definitely would be difficult for us. So we get back with Sims, and he's meeting with a raider named Reginald Smalls, and basically he's just recruiting him. He's like, basically everybody, all the prior raiders. Like if you were, wonder if that includes Sim's wife.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay, yeah. So all prior raiders are being brought back in, and they're sending him down to mechanical. At this point, and it turned out
he's an assassin, basically.
So I thought it was going to be the opposite, actually. Like I said, when we get there, I thought he was going to be the martyr. I thought they were sending him down there to get murdered by mechanical, to be like, look what they did to our decorated raider. I was wrong. They make somebody else the martyr, who we've already talked about. Why Patrick's the martyr.
Yeah.
And he's sent down there to basically
Well,
assassinate
at
him.
first, I thought he was gonna be like a spy and try and worm his way into like the rebellion.
No one's gonna let a raider into the
No, for
rebellion.
real, because there's only like 10,000 people in the silo. There's like 144
Yeah.
levels. There's only there's less than 1,000 people or a couple hundred people per level.
Yeah.
Everybody on level 1, 0 or level 0.
Yeah.
They all know each other.
They know each other.
Like,
He's
they're not
like,
gonna let
hey,
some random guy show up.
it'd be like that Steve Buscemi.
Hello, fellow rebels.
How we doing today? I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's sending them down there.
By the way, he's supposed to be like a sniper, like a crack shot.
Yeah.
Like never misses.
Yeah. They hype him. He's like,
Now, retired.
He has awards
Retired.
on the wall.
Yeah.
But he's still boasting. He's like, no, back then nobody could beat your Simpsons, like no one could beat your crack shot. And he was like, I doubt anybody could these days either. Like he's still out here talking his game. And I gotta be honest, crack shots don't kill two people.
We do get a brief scene with the doctor. By the way, I could care less about the doctor story. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't need anything about Dr. Nichols.
Yeah.
That being said, it's in the show, so we got to talk about
Mm-hmm.
it. The doctor goes to this garden
Yeah.
with a fountain
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
That should be just
It's him,
full of teenagers.
and there's one other
screwing
lady.
around. Yeah.
No, there would be teenagers making out
Oh yeah.
or trying to make out
Mm-hmm.
like crazy in
Yeah.
this garden.
This
Like
garden-
this place would be packed.
I mean, the only thing I could think about is, and I still feel like, people be trying to sneak in, especially teenagers. But the only thing I can think about, we don't see this because he's already in the garden, is like maybe this garden is like heavily guarded for some reason. Like it's, like exclusive thing. I mean, he is a doctor. Which
Well,
I
then
feel
why
like,
is this random lady there?
True. Who the hell is
She
she?
doesn't seem like she's an important person.
Not at all. Especially since they have her on a list of people not to have kids, which we'll get to later. But yeah, he runs into this lady who's basically doesn't know who he is, but she's, there's a lottery. They're doing a special lottery for the mayor going out and cleaning, which I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, I guess, like I said, the mayor did kind of turn into a celebratory thing, so I guess it makes sense. And she wants to have a kid, and he's hoping. And so here's the thing I realized during the scene, though, that is interesting. And the only thing I can think is maybe because he's a doctor, is they make it very clear. Like, one is not everybody's going to be allowed to have kids, like, due to the lottery. And then, as we know, from this episode and then also the last season, like, even if you're picked to have kids, you may not actually be allowed to have kids. They may not actually remove your birth control. So then I'm just like, how does someone, and like the only thing is maybe special allowance because he's a doctor, how does someone get 2 kids? Like, you telling me they won the lottery twice? Like, I would definitely feel, just looking at, because he had a, Juliette, and they also had a son. And I mean, I just feel like also, like, just for anybody, just even the bigger picture,
by the way, like
not knowing about the birth control, but just the bigger picture of it's a lottery. You're telling me, like, what, he won the lottery twice, and everyone's okay with that? Like, I feel like I'd be like,
also, like, was he the doctor that took her birth control out?
No, it was a different doctor.
Or was it a different doctor?
Yeah.
You're telling me that the mom of Juliette Nichols is somebody they wanted to have kids?
Mm-hmm.
She is not somebody they wanted to have kids. She was like doing the rabbit stuff and the microscopes and all that stuff.
Maybe she didn't start up on that until after she had both her kids for some reason. I don't know.
Possibly because she did. Because I guess that did happen because her son got sick.
Yeah,
and that's when she started like searching for other things.
Yeah,
but she was also like the daughter of one of the flame keepers.
Mm-hmm. How did she?
It's very odd.
I mean, maybe, like I said, once again,
I guess you're just trying to keep him in check.
Yeah, and the doctor is a very distinguished position. We learn, especially, that they control the lottery and stuff, and also they got to keep a big secret that, hey, a lot of people, even though we're telling them they can have kids, no chance in hell. So I guess, like, yeah, maybe by marrying the doctor, they're like, okay, well, she's with one of our most, like, high up in the order kind of roles.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that will keep her in line. So I imagine, like, maybe, they probably regretted it after the fact, but maybe when she married the doctor, they're like, well, doctor wants kids. We can't tell the man who decides who does and doesn't have kids, hey, you can't have kids because you married this woman. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was an interesting thing. It was like, how do they get 2 kids? And like I said, it has to be some specialty going on. So we get Paul confirming with the judge that, nope. Or he's at least suspicious that Julia didn't want to go out. And he points out that, like, in the order, that if anybody has any ounce of doubt, they're supposed to have a review or whatever. And so the fact that one of the 5, which I feel like that Raider's going to have a talking to if anybody ever finds it. Like, all you had to say was you heard Juliette say it. But one of the 5 Raiders was like, I didn't actually hear it, but my other 4 did, so I'm just going with them. I'm like, who are you?
I feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
If I was a cop, taking statements,
it's still not a guarantee, though.
And there's like the head of IT, and the head of judicial security, and 4 of the 5. Yeah. And then, like, the 5th one's like, I don't know, I didn't really hear anything.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, well, she definitely said she wanted to go out.
Paul's
I
a by the book sort of dude.
Paul's
and he's like, if there's
things.
any ounce of a possibility.
Well, no,
and,
he's not just questioning. Yeah. She said to him
that's what I'm about to say
is, go out.
Yeah, I think
absence of the statement from the cleaner, I would just, if I was a cop, I would be like, okay, based on the overwhelming testimony that I have.
And the cleaner was also a part of it, I'd be like, yeah, but if, like I said, she made it very clear that she was like, I did not say I want to go out. Yeah. And also she ran, which is like, well, if you want to go out, why are you running? We going to let you go out. No one's going to stop you from going out.
Well, I mean, you get scared.
Yeah. But anyways, the judge goes to watch some Beats
home movie
video, which I'm like, was the judge like, is this
somebody
creepy?
I'm gonna be honest with you. She's looking at a lot of kids in bathing suits. It's It's uncomfortable for me.
I'm wondering, like, I mean, I'm assuming everyone has watched the show, but in case you don't know, the judge is black, and the people in the video is black, and the only thing I can think is maybe
some of them were white,
or some of them
yeah,
white.
One of the little girls was white.
Because I was thinking that
It
maybe
was not
it's like
like
some
it was not
old
family or anything.
like maybe her great.
No,
but
no. It was
okay.
just random,
just some
beach
random
video. Yeah.
I mean, I guess he just wants to go out, but yeah, it is weird. That,
I'm
yeah,
worried
a lot
about
of
the
kids.
cameraman though. I'm worried about the cameraman. But anyway.
But whilst he's doing this, we have the Cooper and her not Cooper, sorry, no, Shirley and her group going to get the guy out of holding. Which we see that the mayor, even though he said, I mean, they actually come to this, even though he says like, yeah, I want your opinion, I value it, like he doesn't listen. He doesn't free, or he does eventually, but not he doesn't free the guy, and so they're going.
I don't think he actually freed him, Teddy.
Yeah,
I don't think he actually freed, because this whole episode starts with a guy getting arrested.
Yes,
for doing graffiti.
Yes,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, like, yeah, they go to break him out. I do have questions of how, Knox bring this up a little bit later, how they thought this was going to work without, like, Shirley went. So basically, what happens? They go to free him while they're arguing. Patrick shows up, throws a firebomb.
False flag operation.
Exactly. He was hired by Sims to do this, and so throws a firebomb, and then our crack shot shoots him and Cooper, which I'm like, come on, man, you're supposed to be the sharpshooter.
Well, he shoots Cooper, and then he shoots Kennedy.
Yeah,
I thought his job would be to shoot Shirley, like take out the leader of the rebellion.
Well, they wanted it to be someone not from mechanical. I don't know how this works out. Like, it's very weird.
Like, what do you get from like starting the false flag and then having your guy, your crack shot, shoot the guy who did the false flag, Kennedy?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a beloved figure.
I mean,
not like the down deep, but like the down.
I think Kennedy
he's lower levels.
I think by shooting Kennedy, because even though they were promising him the drug so he could forget, like, that's a waste of resources, and I think it's just cleaning up so there's no, your false flag can't.
No, okay, I got it.
So that's why you shoot Kennedy. But still, I'm like, let's take out this false flag operation. What did Shirley think was going to happen when they go to break Teddy out? Like, either A, they're gonna chicken out, or B, they're not gonna release Teddy, so you're gonna have to get violent. So I'm like, when Shirley's like, we were just gonna go and get him, I'm like, how were you gonna go and get him without violence happening? Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Because like the deputy of the deep, he's a pushover.
Yeah, but he has all those raiders with him. You think those raiders are going to be like when they see the deputy bow out?
Yeah, but they didn't think the raiders were going to be there, They didn't.
But she still was very much sounding like she thought.
It's a complicated rebellion situation.
Anyways, the false flag operation happens. Cooper ends up dying, unfortunately, and we kind of get Shirley and Knox coming to the same side finally, in a way.
Yeah.
They were at odds.
I did like that scene where he's like if you need to hit something, hit me.
Hit me.
Hits him,
just
and
hits him.
He's like, why did you do that?
I wasn't expecting you to actually do it. And then kind of the last two scenes we get is Peter Nichols. We get to see that he's like we already hinted, the doctor's in control of the lottery.
Yep.
He gets to pick, so he does pick the lady he ran into, but she is listed as someone not to be allowed to have kids. He's doing the surgery, and he makes the choice to go ahead and remove her birth control. And the only thing I could think about is I'm like, yeah, but if she gets pregnant, like, it instantly outs you. Because no one else is.
No. Just sometimes the birth control doesn't work.
I hope so. I hope
we
so.
We also get a brief scene where Bernard, the head of IT, measures Judge Nichols. That was awkward.
Yeah, I was in my bingo of things to happen in this photo. A sensual scene between Bernard and the judge was not what. And I'm very glad that the judge put the brakes on it when she points out that Bernard didn't listen to her. And that, she also knows that she assumes, and the Bernard finally confirms it, that Juliette did not ask to go out. I'm really wondering because she seems like she's very upset. I'm wondering what's going to happen with that. But the thing I do want to ask is why. So Bernard says while they're measuring her, I have my own suit already prepared.
Yep.
And
got
then
a special suit.
He's like, yeah, we can get one for my shadow. And I'm like, why? Wouldn't people question why the head of IT and their shadow. Because most people don't know the head of IT is also secretly the one who knows everything. This is just the guy who's like, hey, I plug in the servers and stuff. So I'm just like, when someone be like, hey, why's the head of IT and his shadow get a special suit on request? Like, I just feel like that'd be one of the biggest questions going on. You ever wonder why give them a special suit? What's going on with that?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, and that pretty much wraps up the Silo 18 storyline.
But before we get to Silo 17 storyline, because this is a long episode.
Yep.
This is a lot of content.
There was a lot, like, in the opening of this episode, I was like, they're just dumping a lot on us right now. I feel like this is a lot to take in all at once.
It's a lot of data. It's a lot of data. But hey, if you like our show, you should go and check out our website, watchinitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchinitpodcast@gmail.com. Donnell, what else should they do?
Well, it is holiday season, folks.
Yeah.
We have seen the list. It does not have the contains section, but
only
it is
109.
It is numbered. Yeah, only 109. We have seen the list. We have not, of course, gone through it yet, but it is there. We're ready. There might be some late arrivals, Robert. There might be some late arrivals. So we're at 109 now.
I kind of glanced through the list. I'm not excited about it.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we saw a few that looked interesting. I know there was at least something in the odds that looked very interesting. Like whoever gets odds had to pick it. But yeah, so we have the list. We're gonna do as always. We're gonna have Mike on. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna figure out what we're covering. Then we're gonna be doing our holiday special, so stick around for that. We got the best of coming up, and then right around the corner next year, got the Oscars. So we got a lot of exciting extra content coming out besides our shows, and then of course with our shows we got Severance coming up. That's gonna be fantastic. Silo's great, but Severance is definitely like the cream of the crop. Been waiting a long time for that. So yeah, we got all that to look forward to, and we'll be right back.
So, Silo 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Talks with Solo.
Yep.
We learned that there are 50
silos.
I'm very worried, Donnell.
Why?
Because that 50...
Low?
No, it's the right number.
Oh, okay.
From the books.
All right.
Spoilers, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go too deep into it. But what does 50 tell you, Donnell? What else can you think of?
50 states?
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. There's an interesting thing. We're probably not going to get into it till season 3 or 4.
Yep.
But I'm wondering if they're going to change the script on something.
Okay.
Just a little hint.
Okay.
You won't know for a couple of seasons, for a season or 2.
Yeah.
Probably next season. But I'm like, if they don't change the script, it's not going to look good. Some people in this country are going to have a heyday with that. I'm just saying. A little hint. People who've read the books know what I'm talking about in the current political situation. It's not going to be good if they stick with the books.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because he's like, what direction was the sun?
Yeah.
And it almost seems like she doesn't know what the sun is.
She doesn't know what the sun is. He a little bit later talks about what is it? Talks about birds. And she's like, I saw some flying animal. And he's like, birds like, and I mean, she's never been out of the silo. She's never seen the sun. She's never seen birds. And I do like, he's just revealing all, like, and we see this also with Bernard and
Judge
Meadows. Like, how much you get to know once you get to the IT position. But I'm also just like, how is that revealed to you where it makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, if you are just a normal person in the silo, you work your way into IT, the head of IT really likes you. He's like, I'd like you to be my shadow. And he's like, now I'm going to, all the technology we have here, ancient compared to what I got in this room here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you about, like, all these other silos. Like I said, this guy knows about the sun. Nobody else in the silo knows about the sun. I'm just like, how does Shadow's first day go down?
In the books, the Shadow, as I've said in previous episodes, the guy who looks at the stars, he becomes Bernard's shadow.
Yep.
And there's not like a fancy screen or hypertech.
Yeah.
But there's like a big like encyclopedia like bookshelf
Mm.
of like, here's what happened and here's everything that we know.
So I imagine when you become the shadow, they just sit down in a room, like, all right,
No,
here's,
in the
here's
book,
a
in the
book or a
books,
video. See you in 2 days.
literally, no, actually, literally in the
Yeah.
in the books, he pulls the star guy
Mhm.
into there and he's like, I'm locking you in here for a long time, and you're gonna read the books, and when I feel comfortable that you're willing to keep the secret, that's when I'm gonna let you out.
Yeah, yeah.
But he stays down there for like months,
Mm-hmm.
like reading
Yeah.
all the books and catching up on like everything.
I mean, there has to
all
be
the
a ton
knowledge,
of
yeah.
history and knowledge that, just to get schooled up on. And then also, I like that part, like, when I feel that you're willing to keep the secret. Like, that's the other side of that coin is like, yeah, you send a man down and put him in that room for a couple months, come back, and if you aren't for sure that he's going to keep the secret, like, there's no way in hell he get out of that room.
There's a again, spoilers. There's a good scene which I think we're probably gonna get in the next episode. So sorry to break it. It's like where Solo is like, what is a silo? And Juliette Nichols is gonna be like, where some people live. And he's like, no, it's where they keep grain.
Man, what the hell's going on in this world? I want to read the book somewhat, but I also don't.
It's so good.
But
we learned that Silo was the shadow of the head of IT.
Yep.
Again, in the books,
Solo
he's like the
was the
son
shadow.
of the guy who's shadowing.
And we also learned from Solo that like the dust might have the poison, or that it can like kind of come and go because like, Juliette was like, well, whenever our people go out, they instantly die. But like we see, from all the corpses and stuff, like they got a fair amount out there. And even Solo's like, yeah, I think the poison was gone for a little bit.
That's an interesting thing because in the books, they talk about the medication in this episode.
Yeah.
That's something they can just release into the air supply to wipe everybody's memory. Yeah. So we don't really know how long it's been since the between the start of the silo and the rebellion.
Yeah.
Because they wiped everybody's memory.
Yep.
At the rebellion.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff a lot of bombs they dropped on us in this episode for sure.
We learn about Juliette's kind of the Juliette of this silo, a little Ron Tucker.
Who didn't go out he went outside, but he didn't clean.
Didn't clean, did the same thing as Juliette, walked away. And then, he kind of reveals like, and that's what started the rebellion. And Juliette's like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Juliette
I need to get back.
very quickly starts connecting dots. And she's like, oh no. No. And so, yeah, she's like, I got to get back to my people.
I love that, like, because they've got, like, in Silo 18, they've got, like, the Juliette lives stuff. And then she sees, like, Ron Tucker lives,
Ron
like,
Tucker
written on the
lives,
wall.
And it's just like, uh-oh. I mean, I guess you never saw the Juliette lives, but she can piece it together. But yeah, so then she decides she's gonna try to go back. She needs a suit. She goes to look for one. Donnell puts another point on the board for not getting rid of stuff because I bet you she could have used that floating device right about now. But yeah, basically discovers that pretty much where the suits are and where all the vital stuff is underwater now,
including the firefighter suit.
Yes, but
which Solo has suggested she use to go outside.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that line where she's like, the firefighter suits aren't meant to go outside. It's like neither are the outside suits.
She's like, neither are the cleaning suits. And I love she just stops and is like, But before that, when he's talking, he gives her some food. And
this does happen in the books.
Okay.
Where he's like, he's crazy, and he's like, I need you to eat the food so I
gives
know
her
that
some
you're a real
food,
person.
Got a temporary scare because he gives her some food,
Yeah.
and she's like, thank you for the food. It was nice. And he's like, oh, I didn't do it to be nice. He's like, and I was like,
you to eat the food.
I needed
like,
you to eat the food.
Die.
And I was like, oh no, what's in the food? And then he's just like, I just need to know you're real. And I was like, okay. But I mean, like I said, this gives me I mean, one is it's obvious, and they point this out later, that he does come out of the vault, even though he makes it sound like he never does. Because that's the only way the food could get out there. Plus, it seems like maybe he actually, I thought there might be some defenses on the vault, but it seems like maybe he actually killed some people. Which I got some questions where these people came from. But anyways, he does come out of the vault. And then also, but like I said, and you said like those rooms usually contain like servers and books. I'm like, where's he getting this food from? How's he got this chicken soup? Where's vault food coming from? What's going on inside that vault? Like even if there's like a conveyor system, who's sending the like? I just don't, how is he growing his own food in there? How does he have chicken, Robert? How did he have chicken?
There's just food in the vault.
Okay, all right.
They're
Well,
just
I guess
backup
canned
food.
food can last for a long time. And
Yep.
strangely, you can have canned chicken, which I never want to eat. But yeah.
His mouth must taste like a ball of tin.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do love when he's like, I don't know if it's good. I remember it being good, but now I can't tell the difference.
But yeah, so Solo gives her the idea of getting the fire gear. And so he goes to look, and the fire gear also appears to be underwater, but it seems to only be like.
So he said it's on level 23.
Yeah. And it's
I'm like, how high is this water? The water was not that high as far as I can remember in the books.
Like, yeah. It
like
sounds
eventually that whole place is just going to flood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's up to level 22 because he makes it sound like literally it's just right, like it's right on the level where the water's at.
Yeah.
So so you can dive down and stuff. So he starts putting out this hairbrain scream that.
By the way,
and
I
you
can't
both,
wait for that until I hope that's like in the next episode.
Yeah.
Because the part in the book where she goes underwater to like dive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so like, oh my God, my heart.
Yeah.
I can't hold it. Like,
Well, like I said,
it's rough.
before she lays out her full plan, both me and you were like, nope, because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna dive down and get in there, and because it's just right there, and I'll get the stuff. And I'm like, you know nothing about
Yeah.
diving, you needed stuff. But she lays out a plan of building some sort of machine that can pump air down to her, probably, and stuff. And then, but she needs Solo to man it. And I was just like, one is before.
So wait, you can build a suit
Yeah.
that's airtight.
Yep. Well, my
But
thought.
you can't build one that can go
Well,
outside.
what my thought is, because he does say he has a bunch of some fabric stuff. I'm assuming this fabric's going to be waterproof.
Yeah.
But my thought is that she's not going to build a suit. It'll be more like, and that's why she also needs someone to pump air. It's going to be more like a kind of like a bubble or a balloon,
fair enough.
where you
yeah.
go down and you're just kind of in there.
all a water world.
Yeah, exactly. All a water world. And so yeah, unless you're going to have like a hose connected to that bubble to take outside, and then but and then how far can you go if you connect to that hose? But yeah, so it sounds like she's got this all worked out. Needs Solo to man it. I did not. I thought Solo was going to be in the vault for a lot longer this season. Did not think he would be coming out, but he does initially say he's not coming out. We see that his vault's been attacked before, which makes me, like I said, so written on the wall across from the vault, so you can see it, is we're going to get in there sooner or later.
Yeah.
And
Which you had asked in a previous episode, why is it written on the inside of the door?
Yeah.
Because that's a message. To
Exactly.
Silo.
It was
yeah.
an interesting message.
Solo.
My question, though, is I'm just like, so was that, I just want to, who wrote that, I guess? Because, was it somebody?
The rebels.
The rebels?
Before they went out.
Okay.
I think.
Because then also, my last question is, because he even says there's two dead bodies, in the room outside the vault, and she even says they're fresher than the other ones.
Yeah, in the book, there are other survivors.
Okay.
From when everybody went outside.
Okay.
And they die off.
That's
over
what,
time.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering if that's what it was. I mean, and it could just be the way they're shooting it. But they have alluded to a few times the way they shoot the camera to make it look like somebody's peeking. That I'm wondering, is there somebody else alive in the vault? Or are they going to be revealed?
I can't remember. I don't think there's other people alive in the vault at this point.
Yeah.
Not in the books.
But,
But, I mean, they could be changing it in the TV show.
Yeah. But she pleads with him because he's like 10,000 people are going to die. He still denies it, but then he changes his mind and comes out. I love when they first see each other and he's like, do I look bad? He's just like, I look bad. Yeah. It's like, I mean, for a guy who's been in a vault, I feel like, maybe they got some razors or something there, because I feel like that beard should be way longer.
Yeah, no, he's been trimming it.
He's been trimming it, keeping his hair trimmed up. And then you kind of you gave me a little spoiler.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to give that to the audience?
I mean, we could.
They're gonna reveal it. He's gonna talk about it. He's gonna explain his situation and how long he's been in there.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should
all right
spoil that.
All right.
For the audience. Yeah.
Altogether, a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
And so much more coming.
I know they're seeing where things can go. I was about to say the things I'm interested in, of course, are her going on her trip to get this fire suit and make a suit. I want more Solo. But one thing I'm really interested in this kind of this mayor judge thing going on, because I'm like, it's
I
like
don't recall that from being in the books.
yeah.
The mayor judge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything between him and his shadow though?
No.
'Cause since I wasn't sure since the judges. But yeah, because the judge is he's very suspicious, and that I mean she got Paul on her side because he's by the books and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm interested in where that's going. It's it's very intriguing. Very
Amazing show.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
You got some news for us, Donnell?
I do have some news. Some news.
I mean, there was some sad news recently. The main actor in Candyman, he died recently.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic actor.
I'm about to say good.
Many
good,
Star Trek roles.
Mm-hmm.
Played Worf's brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. No, that's a loss. I mean, long life though. I mean, he was not old, but older. When it comes to.
We should probably say his name, but I can't remember the name of the actor.
We're great at names, folks. You can tell because we always have to.
This happened like a couple of weeks ago too. Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horror legend right there.
Yeah, 69. Not old enough.
69.
But
Definitely
nice.
not old enough.
Nice.
Nice. Yep. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. You will not be making nightmares for anybody anymore. But I'm sure his legacy of horror movies will keep people scared for a good amount of time. Oh man.
Anyway.
So yeah, I have some news, Robert. So we got a confirmation of a season 2 of an MCU show. You want to take a stab at which one it is?
The Marvels. Miss Marvel.
No.
Hawkeye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been confirmed that they are doing a season 2 that will be the filming for is beginning to start early 2025.
That's crazy. No, you know what? Like I need a Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Before that.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Hawkeye season 2.
Yeah.
It's not the one I would really want the most.
Okay. What?
She-Hulk.
Yeah. I don't think we're getting a She-Hulk season.
We're not getting a She-Hulk season 2 because it's too expensive.
Frustrating. Yeah, and I not enough people liked it. I mean, I enjoyed it quite a bit, but a lot of people were like, "Man, She-Hulk." I feel like we could have a lot of fun.
I mean,
with She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's really the main one that I'd want is another She-Hulk, but
mm-hmm.
I will take a Hawkeye season 2.
Yeah,
that's probably like my second.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe Miss Marvel.
Yep.
And then I really don't know if I could use like another season of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Or
we haven't gotten our first season of Daredevil yet.
Well, we have the Daredevil show.
Yeah, but not the MCU Daredevil.
Yeah.
Which is still coming out.
We will get one. Yeah. I mean, we're getting the Captain America movie.
Yep.
I like the show.
I like Captain America
I don't see
and
a second
Bucky
show
being
coming in,
teamed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see them. I mean, because also you couldn't call it Falcon and the Winter Soldier anymore because he's no longer the Falcon. Or you could, but it'd have to be the other Falcon, which no one cares about him. But and then I think Loki is pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, Loki's wrapped up.
Except like I could see Loki showing up like in the big movies.
They need to like wrap Loki storyline into.
Yeah, like that thing is like we don't need another Loki show, but I do hope that we're going to see Loki pop up in one of the Avengers that's coming out.
And you can't. Well, so there's a Vision show coming, which I would consider like season 2.
Yeah, it's continuation of
WandaVision.
I mean, is it season 3 with Agatha being season 2?
True. But I'm glad that we're getting a Hawkeye season 2.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be nice, and it'll bring Kate Bishop back into focus since things have gone quiet there. It'll be nice to see her again. I very much enjoyed her character. So yeah,
so much excitement when at the end of the Marvels when Miss Marvel showed up. At Kate Bishop's house. I was so excited. That's the best after credits scene for me. I was pumping my fist in the theater. I was like, yeah, it's happening. Anyway, they can't get to Young Avengers fast enough. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's definitely something they have slated. I just they don't even have like a firm we're releasing it. So we'll see.
No, next up is like the Thunderbolts or something, which I'm super excited
Thunderbolts
about. It looks really
great.
Good.
It looks really good. I'm excited for that.
Wow, I'm surprised we're getting a Hawkeye season 2. But I'm loving it.
Yeah, I did not see that. I did not see that being revealed. I did not think we were getting that. But yeah, all right. So Robert,
Tell us, and ask me my questions, Donnell.
I mean, the first question.
Wait, do I go? Is it my turn or is it your turn?
I think
Do I
you
go first?
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna ask you about this biology revenge thing.
Yeah.
You talked a lot of silence and a little spin-off thing, yeah, and now all of a sudden you're cursing science, and I have questions.
So I found the show this week, and I watched. It is 4 seasons,
Okay.
10 episodes each.
All right.
Season on Netflix called AP Bio.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched it, but I have seen it.
So I added it to my watch later list in Netflix, and then of course the algorithms pumped me and said like AP Bio after all these years is still highly watched, even though it was canceled. So I guess it was like a network TV show that made it onto Netflix.
I think it was on NBC or something.
So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Fine, you win this time, algorithms. It stars Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Like the psycho guy.
Yep.
Like the older brother.
Yep. I know who you're talking about.
He plays a disgraced Harvard-educated, doctorate-level philosophy professor. His mom has died. He has gone back to Toledo to like take care of affairs at the mom's house.
Yep.
And because he's left Harvard professorship, he has decided to take a job as an advanced placement biology teacher at a Toledo high school.
Okay.
He does not care. Walks in first day and be like, I am not teaching you bio. As long as you don't say anything about me not teaching you biology, you get an A. If you say anything about me not teaching you biology, you get an F. These are all like kids that want to be elite Ivy League school kids.
Right.
And they're just kind of like, no, you got to do this. He's like, hey, do you want an F or do you want an A? And his every class, he's like, the reason I'm disgraced at Harvard is because of this other philosophy guy who wrote this book. We need to figure out how to destroy his life. So, like, most of the episodes are, let's get revenge on someone.
Yes.
Let's catfish them. Let's destroy their life. Let's change the Google algorithm to make us think that he's a pedophile. It's wholesome.
It's wholesome?
It's comfort food TV.
Okay, nice.
It's not as good as Community, but it's kind of in the Community vein.
Okay.
It's not the best, but it's pretty good, and it's fun, and all the students in the class are really interesting characters. It's just done well. It's just sit and binge and have some fun.
Nice.
First 2 seasons are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 4th seasons, it gets unhinged and becomes great. Not masterful.
Okay.
But great. And Donnell, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Cocaine,
Okay.
spaghetti, or pen?
I'm going to go with pen.
Okay. We're going to take a little break, and I'm going to show Donnell a moment of this show.
All
and then we're
right.
going to come back and talk about it. This is my pen.
What the hell was that? I need answers, Robert.
Yeah. So what I showed Donnell is a video of a man in a white T-shirt covered in blood.
Covered in blood.
Hands covered in blood.
Yeah.
Walking into a classroom in high school to a bunch of students who are very concerned
Yep.
that give him a pen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they hug.
Yep. And then they hug, and
then he gives a speech saying, "This is my pen,"
and they play it like something wholesome.
And everyone's
just happened.
very happy.
Everyone's
about
like reflectively happy, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "What happened in this episode where that means something?"
it.
And then you just cut away. That's where the scene ends, folks. You're just
It makes sense if you watch the show.
I'm sure if you watched it, that's all well and good. But as an outsider, you're just like, "What the hell just happened?"
Like I said, the first 2 seasons. It's pretty good, but then season 3, I mean, it really gets unhinged. And it is amazing. I binged all 4 seasons this week.
Damn.
Fantastic. I mean, they're like 20-minute episodes, you
But
know?
still,
I mean, totally worth checking out.
All right.
Unfortunately, there's not more. I could use more. I could use some spin-offs of a lot of the students.
Yeah.
There's a character in there named Heather that is really good. Maybe the only show I've ever watched where I did not mind Patton Oswalt being in it. I'm fine with the person, the human being that is Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Not a fan of his work.
Okay.
Not too bad in this.
Okay.
Not too bad in this, in my opinion.
Nice. Real quick, talking about our guy Glenn. How do you say his last name? Howerton. Because I just look like you said he's in Always Sunny. No, Always Sunny because it's still going. It's gonna be almost on for 20 years. It just does not seem
Such a good show.
Next year will be its 20th year, and I'm just like it does not feel like it's been on since 2005, but it has. So yeah, that's that. There's that, and then also, sadly, his latest work besides a show that's coming out next or to be announced, sadly, was Velma.
Dude,
ugh.
he played Fred?
He played Fred Jones in Velma.
Velma has a 1.6 rating on IMDb. That is the lowest rating I've ever seen
100%
on IMDb.
I don't think I've seen anything
ever.
lower.
I don't think I've seen below a 3 before this.
It was
That is insane. 1.6.
Terrible show, and I don't know how it got made, why it got made, and why did it get a second season? No one was asking for season 1 came out, you could say it was an experiment, sure, but after that season 1 it was like, cool, we're done, right? And they're like, nah, let's run it back. I don't know.
Someone had non-consensual sex with a producer. I don't want to say that. Someone had non-consensual sex with someone who had money.
Mm-hmm.
That's
1.6.
I don't know who. I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
Yeah.
But somebody was hot and somebody was ugly that had money.
Mm-hmm.
And those two people had sex.
Yep.
And that's how Velma got a second season.
Yes. So real quick, like you said, 1.6 as a whole on IMDb. You want to guess what the highest rated episode is rated at?
2.5.
Nah, you're a little low. They got to a 4.7 on one episode.
Oh.
Still not above 5.
There are YouTube shorts about Scooby-Doo I've shown you, Donnell, that are like 9s.
5 million times.
You make
better.
that show, I'll watch it.
Yes.
You make the show about
Eldritch Horror Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
And it could be a spit-off series from this Velma because it plays into that.
I would watch a whole season
of
that dog just restarting reality.
Restarting each time.
And killing
a new
Velma
cycle.
at the end of every season episode being like, you figured it out.
Yeah.
You ripped the mask off. All right, Donnell, talk to me about, speaking of Eldritch Horror.
I mean, so my first question to you, Robert, isn't even on the show. It's just in general. Do you not want me to finish Supernatural? Because I finally,
I know,
after years,
I talked to you, but
going back and
3
forth.
or 4 episodes ago, you were like, I'm watching Supernatural, and I said like, oh, there's like a dozen shows and animes I want you to watch before that are so much better.
I'm just saying, like the odds of me watching from some other time are a lot higher than me watching, 15 seasons of Supernatural?
You know what's messed up? It's like, we've been doing this podcast for like 4 years now or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just learned that like, oh, I just have to show Donnell like about 30 minutes of any show I want him to watch. That's good.
Yeah.
And then he'll just binge the rest of it.
Certain quality.
Because that's what happened with Supernatural.
Yeah.
I showed you an episode.
But also it lined up.
Watching.
And this is one thing that definitely has lined up. Did I start? No, Lioness was also afterwards. One thing that all this does coincide with is because I'm unemployed. So I don't know how effective. Like I feel like Lioness I was in and definitely from. I don't know if even after watching Supernatural, because it's just daunting, man. It's just daunting. 15 seasons.
You just got to get to episode 4, like halfway through season 4.
I know. I'm in
You're gonna be
season 3 right now. I'm gonna wrap up from which we're about to talk about, but I'm gonna wrap up from this probably by Wednesday, if not before then. So as long as you don't pull something out,
I'll hold back.
Maybe I'll watch some AP bio. No, I'm just kidding.
I won't show you anything else. See, but I can talk about AP bio.
Yeah.
And it's just in the meta for you right now.
It's
the
out
second,
there.
well, I just did show you like a clip.
Yeah, and
That
it does
got you-
have me with some questions.
I wetted your palate.
because I'm like, I need to know how
No,
that
you're in it
pin
now.
scene.
You're
No,
in
no,
it now.
I think I can. I mean, it's
If I show you like a whole episode,
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, I gotta watch this show.
yeah, I'm gonna need to connect some dots.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Questions
anyways.
about From. I have no answers.
I know.
I do have some answers, but I don't have all the answers. There's
I-
no book series to
yeah.
reference.
I mean, wait. So From, folks,
It's
just so
so
you
good.
know, is
It's the
a
best.
horror
Mystery.
mystery show about a town that everybody gets
They
to.
heard me talk about this.
Yeah, true. Everybody gets to by a tree that's fallen in the road. Everybody sees the tree. That's a very standout point that they make very clear.
Tree.
Season 2. Well, actually, end of season 1, into season 2. Wild, man. Wild. When they're like, storms coming in, and all the voice, hey, like, they're all like, hey, your wife's gonna be digging that hole. And I'm like, who the hell's
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
radio?
yeah.
And
No,
then,
they're
and
in
then
this town.
a
They're in
freaking
this town.
bus rolls into town, and I'm like, whoa!
Yeah. No, they're in this town.
Yeah.
They're in this town. There's electricity.
Mm-hmm.
There's no power plant.
No.
And then they trace back the electrical
cables,
lines.
They just go into the ground.
They
There's
just-
nothing
they
down
just
there.
end. They
There's
just end.
nothing down there.
There's something down there.
Oh, well, there is something. There's nothing that's conducting power.
Don't go
down
in the
there.
caves, Donnell.
No,
Don't
do
go
not.
in the caves.
Dude, that was one of the most intense parts with her and Victor.
Yeah.
Wandering through.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
we
wait
gotta
till
get the
season
hell
3.
outta here. Oh.
The voices that were talking to him in the caves.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you figure out who that is.
Mm.
It's gonna blow your mind, Donnell.
Mm.
Oh.
The little boy in white is not a monster? Is what I thought.
Oh, wait till season 3. Wait till season 3. A lot of stuff gets revealed.
Oh.
A lot of bombs get dropped in season 3.
And
How about-
freaking the sheriff
worms?
with the I was like no.
Yeah, this is the fun game.
No.
I like
no.
playing this game. The monsters are crazy.
Yes.
The monsters are
Yes.
Smiley.
I have questions about
Do you
the
have
monsters.
nightmares? I got a question. That's my question for you.
No.
You haven't had any
I
nightmares
haven't
yet?
had any nightmares yet.
You've been binging this and you haven't had any
I've been binging
nightmares?
it. Yeah,
I had
no.
nightmares for 2 months.
My question though with these monsters, 'cause so they get these. One is the
One,
fact.
Donnell?
The fact. Well,
You
no,
mean like
the-
17?
but the fact that people were surviving in this town, and especially
Before
like
the
Victor
talisman?
before the talismans, I'm like, oh hell! I mean, yeah, they had some good hideouts, but I'm like, oh hell no! Oh hell! Like before the talismans, you're in this
Hell
town.
no after the talismans, man.
I mean, yes, but at least the talismans give you something, dude. Camping. When
when they're camping
sheriff
the
and
tent
Sarah goes
gets
out
dragged.
and they're in there, and I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need like when they were in the RV, that was intense, but
Oh,
at
yeah.
least it's solid. I'm like, I need more than some felt walls between me and whatever the hell's out there. There's the horn and the light, and then the next day it's like, well, let's go find. I'm like, let's not go find the light and the horn, like. Whew. I know if you're listening to this, you have no idea. What
How about
hell
the
I'm
tech
talking about.
entrepreneur guy
Mhm.
that thinks it's like all a joke?
Yeah.
He
that
just,
was
like,
fun
steals the bike.
until that was a lot. That was probably one of the most intense scenes for me. It was a lot of fun with the tech entrepreneur until we're in the freaking bunker and the body crushed by the rock.
Yeah. The Civil War soldier. Oh yeah.
I do like though later on.
I love it.
when-
My favorite thing about the tech entrepreneur is just every now and then the mannequin
That's what I was about to bring
shows
up.
up and
I was
just
gonna bring
screams
up
at
the
him.
puppet, and I just love the scene where like now he's seen these visions, folks, that are always horrifying, but now he's kind of used to them, and he's just like he's sitting there, he's rolling his last
Oh, he's getting
joint.
high all the
and
time.
his-
I
his
cannot
puppet-
get high in this scenario.
This puppet shows up, creepy puppet, and screams at him. He's like, whatever. Just lights up. And I'm like, guess you Vincent get used to it. So
Oh my god,
the bus
season
runs
3,
into
dude.
toll.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Oh, when you figure out like what his whole deal is,
Yeah.
and the mom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna hit
Mom
hard.
seeing these dead
It's
girls.
gonna hit hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bus rolls into town. So here's the thing. This is on the lighter note, nothing to do with the mystery, the horror. Just a little bit like, oh come on, cut this man some slack. Is we have the deputy and the doctor, and they're two people around the
which
same
deputy
age.
and which doctor?
The first deputy, Glenn, the Asian dude.
Okay.
Yeah. And the
Dude,
doctor,
they gotta get together.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
I am shipping
is-
for them so
That's
hard.
what I was gonna say. Is what my frustration is. So in the first season, you could very much tell there is some tension between these two. They got some feelings, and I'm like, you're at the end of the world. Like, why are you wasting time? Get it and stuff. But eventually, it comes to head. C reveals C's got a fiance, which I'm like, you fiance here? Why?
Yeah.
What's the matter? And then literally in the episode right before this bus shows up, she's like, I'm between whether I want to just wait and hope I get out of there and see my fiance again, or whether even if I do get out of here, I want to tour the world with this amazing man. I'm like, yeah, let's get it, Glenn. You got a foot in the door. Let's go. And then, oh, here comes a bus, and who steps off? Her freaking fiance. I'm like, come on, kid. Glenn's at the freaking. He's lost his dad. His mom's. I mean, she's getting better, but his mom's barely dealing with this. He got a whole bunch of crap
wait
going on.
till
The
season 3.
sheriff leaves, or he leaves him in control. I'm like, cut this man some slack. He's been finding dead bodies. Let this man get him some. It's the end of the world. Let him get him some. And then her fiance walks off the bus, and I'm just like, screw you. I mean, she seems
there's
nice.
a running gag in the
She
show.
seems nice, but I am a little hostile
Yeah.
towards her because it's like you're ruining Glenn's chance.
It's not a running gag in the show, but there's a running kind of like gag within like the Reddit community, because after every episode I gotta go to Reddit and like read the theories and all this stuff. And like, I mean, it's thick, like with all the stuff that you see of like pictures and images, and it's like, okay, maybe this means something, maybe this means something. But in the Reddit community, they're just like, why is no one talking to each other about all the weird stuff they're experiencing? Like, if they could just have like a town meeting
Just a
once
nice
a
sit
week
down and be like,
and
hey,
just be like, I saw
what
this.
weird thing happened to you this week?
I turned on a candle and went through the arch in the woods, and I went into the dungeon.
Yeah.
Could we just get everybody on the same page? That would help a lot.
I am very annoyed with the sheriff right now.
Oh,
not
yeah.
telling Donna, dude, and the actress who plays Donna.
Oh, he's amazing.
Mwah.
Dude,
This
everybody
lady,
acts
everyone acts well.
so
but
good in this, but Donna
love
is amazing.
The
Yeah.
scene when he first gets back and she's like, if you don't want to talk, that's fine. But it's like, but I need to know that you are back. Because he's like, I just tried to be you, and I'm barely getting. It's like just so much conviction. We're like, oh, Donna, like you're watching this, and like Donna is on the last thread here, folks. Like she is her house got destroyed. She's barely holding it together.
She's been holding it together for like 30 years, dude. Like,
yeah. I'm just like, Donna is barely keeping it. Woo. Anyways, folks.
Oh, the lady
Mm-hmm.
who's like trying to like the monster lady.
Mm-hmm.
Who's like seducing the guy in the house.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's so good.
So that scene, one is I was like,
so for those that haven't watched the show, and you absolutely should if you can handle scary stuff. Even if you can't handle scary stuff, it's an amazing mystery show.
It is fantastic.
You have these monsters that they can't come in because there's these talismans.
Yeah.
They can't come into a house. But
They
they'll
can't-
like knock on the windows of
They
the
can
doors.
come in even if you have the talisman if they're invited.
Correct.
Which is interesting.
Or if you open a window or a door or something. So they'll knock on the windows or the doors and pretend to be like your grandma or something. And
try
be
to
like,
convince you,
just let me in.
or that they're just nice people.
And there's one monster that's like seducing one of the guys in this house, being like,
I'm just
if
like,
you just open the window, like
I
we could just touch each other.
I gotta give that monster some props. I thought
He playing the long game, man.
Well, yeah, playing the long game, and I thought as soon as that man opened the window, it was on. And instead, she actually comes in and she closes the window, and they even have like a nice intimate moment where they're happily together before she decides to eat them. And I was just like, and also, but I mean, part of me realized like, oh, she wanted this meal to herself. That's all. Because like she does open the window after she's done, and like, okay, let's all get some. But she's just like, this is my snack. I worked hard on this snack, so I'm gonna close the window. I'm going to enjoy myself a meal, and then I'll get the buddies up in here. We go wreck this house. But, oh, yeah, when I saw that, I thought that was going to be a lot more played out. I thought it was going to take a few episodes before.
That was the great thing, though, is that it wasn't more played out, man.
I was just like, it's a good thing that man's dead. Because if anybody found out how they got in, because he out here flirting with one because he think he's pretty. I mean, you see what these things do?
Have none of the people in this town seen a horror movie? Because there's number one rule in my book about horror.
Yeah.
Buddy system.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they do hint
no
at that.
one is alone
They
at
do
any
hint
time.
at that. I got to be, and I'm glad it kind of fell apart, because I got to be honest, though, I was very frustrated. I get there are two different kind of philosophies on it, but the divide between Colony House and the town, I'm like, this is not time for divides, folks.
Yeah.
This is, you're allowed to be divided on stuff as like philosophy of how to handle a situation when you're at a time. That's the luxury of becoming more civilized and beginning more peaceful, is you're allowed to have divides over stuff like this. But when every night is a freaking we may or may not make it scenario, you're not allowed to be like, well, we think we're all about the freedom and we're all about the rules. I'm like, screw all this. I don't care.
No, buddy system.
Buddy system.
Everybody has someone with them
at all times.
Like, I mean, you tie a rope.
Mm-hmm.
No one is allowed to be alone.
Sarah wouldn't
by
have been able to.
themselves
Sarah wouldn't have been able to do her shenanigans.
Absolutely, yeah.
And all that stuff. The fact that she's freaking back in town, I was like, what? Woo, folks, watch this show.
It's a lot.
Watch the show. It can be intense at times.
It's scary.
But
it's bloody.
It is worth it because it is fantastic. And like I said, the third season just wrapped up. I'm just in the third season. It is going on my list of show. I mean, if we're putting like the best shows I've seen, like Severance is like at the top.
This is like a top 10.
But this is in the top 10. Yeah. This is in the top 10. Epic. Which I'm like, I don't even know what the hell they are. Epic. But apparently, like for a while, we were in this world where it seemed like only Apple and like the big boys, Amazon, had enough money where they could spit out a great show. But now it just seems like you got the right. I mean, like MTV.
I mean, the set is set.
Yeah,
and the actors are limited.
True. It's still
I mean, they still like the money they're spending on practical effects. For like all the bloody corpses
and the monsters transform.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Check out the show, folks.
Anyway, that's our show. Thanks for joining us. Check out our website, watchinpod.com. Please feel free to email us, watchinpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our upcoming pre-Christmas show,
pre-Christmas special,
which will be with Mike or Ringer.
Yeah.
Because Mike's in Germany.
Mike's traveling.
And right now.
Yeah.
And I've already got my best of list.
I do not. I need to start. I got plenty of time. I need to start working on that. I need to start nailing that out. I mean, you have introduced some things that are like suddenly like, oh, maybe the list is changing. I mean, I'll tell you one thing on my best of list. So if you're tired of hearing me talk about Lioness and you're tired of you're gonna be that game, I'm just gonna tell you I'm gonna be talking about both of them on our best of. Especially, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love From is great, but Lioness is something else. Lioness is something else. Like, while it is
you
not,
haven't even started watching Yellowstone yet.
Yeah, no, you haven't shown me an episode yet, so.
That's true. That's true.
Anyways, folks, like Robert said, we got our best stuff. We got a lot of good stuff coming up for you. Please give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.